Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce. We're back with another rabbit farming video. Now over the past year or so, I've received calls from dozens of persons, not just locally but persons from all over the world who are interested in getting into rabbit farming. Now in some countries, rabbit farming is being promoted as a way to help alleviate poverty. Now here in Trinidad and Tobago, more and more people are beginning to view agriculture as a business, and they view the rabbit as the best livestock choice, which is true. Right now we'll talk more about that in a subsequent video. However, since so many people are interested in getting into rabbit farming, I felt compelled to do a video on the importance of getting the right start. Now if this is something that interests you, stay tuned because we'll be back with more on this topic right after the intro.
Hey guys, Sean McLean here from Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce, coming to you with another rabbit rearing video. Today we're going to discuss getting the right start and how important that is. Now, Sean and I have been doing rabbit rearing for over 25 years individually and together at Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce for at least the last 7 years. And we realized the importance of getting a right start. Now, rearing rabbits can be very lucrative, but there are certain things must be done in order for it to be profitable. So in this video, we're going to give you all some more details on how important it is to get the right start.
Okay Sean, thank you. Now I know persons, dozens of persons in fact, who have tried rabbit farming and failed. And they'll give you all sorts of reasons why they came out of the business. Now to be fair, the market, especially the meat market, wasn't as open as it is now, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. However, myself and quite a few other farmers, we came through that same period and we're still here. The point I'm trying to make is that if you make the right start, you're going to have longevity in the business. Okay, so a critical oversight by many persons who enter into rabbit farming is how labor intensive it really is. Too many people enter into rabbit farming with this fairy tale notion that, hey, rabbits breed so rapidly, you know, that I just have to buy a few rabbits and before long I'll be raking in the cash. No. If you're new to rabbit farming or you're thinking about starting a rabbit farm, please don't underestimate how much time and energy it takes to run a successful rabbit enterprise. When compared to other types of livestock, rabbits actually take more time and effort to manage than most of the others. So it's very important that you do everything possible to mitigate against this time and labor factor. Okay, now let's look at some of the early investments that you're going to have to make to reduce your time and labor going forward. First of all, I strongly recommend all wire cages. Reason being that these all wire cages are what we like to call self-cleaning. All of the feces and the urine falls through and drops to the ground, or if you want to have some type of collection bin to collect the waste, you can do that as well. The point is that none of the feces or urine remains in the cage, as opposed to if you had, let's say, a wooden hutch or a cage with a wooden floor that would require you to sweep and clean the floor 2 or 3 times a day. Okay, and remember we're talking about cutting labor, because labor is one of the things that has driven many persons out of the rabbit industry. So as much as I do recommend it, if you are going to build a wooden hutch, at the very least use a wire floor to allow all the waste to fall through, so you don't have to kill yourself 2 and 3 times a week cleaning out the hutch. Another thing is to buy the right wire. Now, we spoke about all wire cages. Now, rabbit cages should be made from the standard 12 gauge galvanized wire that of course protects the wire and allows it to last a lot longer. For example, we have the 1 inch by 1/2 inch, which we use for the floor of the cages, that allows the waste to fall through easily, but it's close enough for the rabbits to find comfort walking on it. Then we have the 1 inch by 2 inch gauge, which we use for the sides of the cage. Now, the top, you could use either one of the wires, it doesn't really matter because the top of the cage doesn't really take much weight. But this is the standard 1 by 2 that we use for the sides, and the 1 by 1/2 which we use for the floor. Now, at first glance, these wire may seem a bit expensive, but trust me, it's well worth the investment. You might be tempted for a while to say, you know what, I can start with a cheaper wire for now, but trust me, that's a rookie mistake. Rabbits are notorious for gnawing and biting on cages, and they'll destroy that cheap wire in quick time. Not to mention that rabbit urine is probably one of the most corrosive of them all, so your cheap wire won't last very long at all. So instead of focusing on production, you'll be spending most of your time repairing cages. That's just something for you to think about. Okay, another major time-saving investment is an automatic watering system. Trust me, it's critical to have one of these. Now, at first, it may seem easy to you to rinse and refill a water bowl each day or probably twice a day, depending. But trust me, it can become a real chore over time, because rabbits, they will, I think they do it deliberately. They urinate in the bowls, they put feces in the bowl, they toss the bowl and turn over the water just if it's not tied down. I don't know if they have a wicked streak that they just want to work you, but you'll go crazy refilling water bowls, especially if you have a large amount of rabbits. Now, some people use water bottles, and well, this is the one that we use on our carrier cages. See, they just nibble there. Now, this is fine if you just have a couple rabbits, but you still have to fill this bottle every day or twice a day, especially in the hot times of the year. So it's a lot of work to refill all these bottles every day or twice a day, depending on the number of rabbits that you have. So I would definitely recommend that you use an automatic watering system. Now, you might be thinking, okay, he's on a commercial scale, I don't really need a watering system. I disagree, because I look at every piece of work eventually adds up to the whole. Even when we had just started off, when we only had 3 or 4 rabbits, we had an automatic watering system. Our system now is attached to a 400-gallon tank with a float switch, so the tank is always full, so they always have water. But back then, when we just had a few rabbits, our automatic watering system was connected to a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, and we refill that bucket every day until we eventually put a float switch in the bucket as well. So I don't think scale really matters. I think it's about ease of effort and time to do other things if you don't have to worry about putting water for your rabbits all the time. Okay, so it's your choice, but think about it. Right, the next labor saving investment is buying good feeders. Now, this is the standard J-type feeder that is used for rabbits. Now, these are a huge time saver, trust me. The whole idea behind this feeder, for me obviously, is the fact that I don't need to open each and every cage to feed my rabbits. So let's say I had 100 rabbits, I could just walk the line and pour feed. So in 5 minutes time, I could probably have fed 100 rabbits and I'm done. Okay, think about if you had to open each and every cage. That 5-minute job is closer to half an hour or even more. Again, it might seem simple, but I'm looking at time to invest in other areas of the business. Now some people, I mean, if you're handy, some people try to make these feeders themselves because they find that the price could be a bit high. But hey, I don't like too much work and I don't have time to waste. So I look at everything as if I'm paying myself. So when I look at the cost of the material to build this feeder and the pay that I'm going to have to pay myself for the time it takes to make this feeder, if it's anywhere close to the actual cost of just purchasing the feeder, then that's what I'm going to do and I'm done. I don't have time to waste. Okay, again, the whole idea is manage your time that you could focus into other areas of the business, and then you'll become closer to having a successful operation. Okay guys, now this is probably the most important point out of everything I've said so far, and that is to start with the right stock. Guys, it is important that you start with good rabbits. This is not an area where you want to try and cut cost. You're starting up, buy rabbits from a reputable breeder with good record keeping. Choose breeders from multiparous does that consistently kindle and wean large litters. Remember guys, a rabbit that's weaning 3 is going to eat the same amount of feed as a rabbit that's weaning 6 or more. So invest in the better average. Don't throw your money down the drain. Now since we're on that, let's talk a bit about pricing. Now, good quality breeding stock here in Trinidad and Tobago is going to probably cost you anywhere between $300 and $500 per rabbit. Now, to some people that might seem like a lot of money, but actually it's not, because we have imported rabbits from the US on a few occasions along with a number of other farmers. And I am going to tell you that when you go to the US and you want to purchase quality rabbits, especially if you go to the top breeders, you're going to pay as much as $300 US per rabbit. When you do the conversion, that's a little over 2,000 TT dollars you're paying per rabbit, and that doesn't include all the other costs associated with bringing those rabbits into the country, like vet fees and airline freight and customs duties and all of that. We're talking just purchasing the rabbit. So the next time you go out to buy quality breeding stock, be mindful of the price and know to yourself that it's not as expensive as you think it is. My advice is this: if you're on a small budget, you can still start right. Just start smaller. And if I'm going to borrow a line from the guys at JSH Rabbits over in Jamaica, right? In their last video, they said you don't go into rabbit farming, you grow into rabbit farming. Okay, that's something to think about, right? JSH Rabbits over in Jamaica, big up to you guys. If you guys don't follow their channel, you should definitely check them out. I'll link their channel in the description below this video. Also, we're going to be doing a collaboration video with them coming up soon, so definitely look out for that. Now, another thing to consider if you're getting into rabbit farming, of course, is breeding your rabbits. Now, when you're just getting started and you only have a few rabbits, it seems easy, no problem. You just have a few rabbits, you can take your time and naturally breed them by taking the doe to the buck and back to her cage and what's not. But as your rabbitry grows, you're going to become increasingly aware of how time consuming and labor intensive it is to do breeding on a large scale. This is one of the reasons why here at Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce, we have switched to artificial insemination. And that's a big time saver, because now breeding tasks that would have took us days, we can do that in an hour. And again, that is time that we can invest into other areas of the business. A big shout out to my homie Louis Dugar out there in Alabama, USA. Right, Louis called me a couple days ago and we had a discussion and we came to the same conclusion. He has a commercial rabbitry out there and it takes him about a week full time to breed all his does. Right, it just takes too long. Right, so now he's looking at switching to artificial insemination, because then that task which would have taken him about an entire week, he'd probably do that in a couple hours. So again, it's about saving on time and effort, and you can then turn around and invest that time and effort into other areas of the business to become more productive. So a big shout out to you there, Louis, out in Alabama. Keep doing your thing, homie, right? And stay in touch. We're always happy to help. So see ya. Okay, so the last point I'm gonna make, and by no means the least, of course, is market research. Don't go into this business without doing your market research. Before you buy a single rabbit, you should know who your target market is. Go out there, speak to prospective clients, get some expressions of interest as to the quantities that they want, the prices they'd be willing to pay. So then you can plan your production to target that market. Also ask yourself this question: what is my value proposition? I'm entering into a market where there are already existing farmers. What is going to make my product special or different from what's already out there? Furthermore, the meat market on the whole is so competitive. What is going to make people leave the other meats and purchase your rabbit meat in its place? These are things that you need to give some serious thought to, because you don't want to just make that type of investment and then you don't know how to recoup it. Now, I recently did a video on selling more rabbits. If you haven't seen that video, you should definitely check that video out. Okay, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, so you can check that out, go after the information. So guys, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from getting into rabbit farming. I'm just trying to make you come into it with both eyes open. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to invest some money, you have to invest some time and some effort, but if you start right, you can be successful. So guys, thanks for watching. I'm glad that we had you all here with us today. On behalf of myself and my business partner Sean McLean, we hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Peace. See you guys next Monday.